Hi, everyone. Whew, I am cold. I was just, swimming and stuff. Anyway, hair's all wet. I'll go brush that. But first, I thought I should tell you that I have a very special idea for today's video. Terrain. Terrain. Hills, mountains. You are the creator of it all. You can create worlds beneath your hands. Quite an amazing feeling just to click the screen and just watch as a hill rises exactly where you want it. Or if you don't like something, you can level it off. That also involves water, which is inspiration and all that. But the thing about that is, I have briefly skimmed over terrain in the past. If you stick with the channel, you have seen a video where I used the generate button. We're gonna go back over that again because that was the end of the playlist and stuff, and not everyone sees a video at the end of a playlist. But if you've seen that video, we'll be doing more of that. We're gonna build our own worlds. Let's get straight to it. Oh, hair slightly back in order, but I don't care about getting my hair as perfect as it always is on video. I need to stop doing the hair flicks. I think that's just weird. But no, I don't really care about that at the moment. I think right now we need to get to making Roblox games. That's not Roblox. Let's try that again. Trying that again. Let's make some Roblox games. There! That was intended, not Google. Okay. So, for those of you who are watching these in order, last video we made this little GUI thing, which is new to this kind of world full of various projects. If you have seen that video, just click this button. Don't worry, it's still there, you just can't see it. Anyway, so, to start making our terrain, we're going to have to either create a new world or type in some more detailed coordinates. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build in this world, off to the side, a kind of another world or another area to explore. Classic games. And then I'll just add a bridge because I could add teleporters, or I could even add like a teleporter pay to use, or some kind of subway stop, or just some kind of thing where at a certain level you advance. But no, this is not a game, is it? This is a testing field full of things. And for that, that requires the fact that not everything works together. It's just a bunch of meshy things meshed together. Right, I've already wasted 3 minutes just talking. So let's get straight into this. I do not want to bore you guys. Click the editor, X out your toolbox, and this is where we're going to be doing everything today with our terrain. You'll notice there are 3 sections. Region for creating basic kind of areas. Create for basically just building a whole world instantly. And edit, which is basically what we're going to be using all day. So, first thing I want you to do is we're going to add a world, okay? We're going to click generate. Now, back when I started Roblox, you had to type in detailed coordinates. Well, you guys are lucky because you're in a time and they have made everything oh so simple. If they don't overlap oddly. 1 second, let me try this again. I'll be back once I fix that. You should have a thing on the side. It should look more like this, with all these different things. Of course, for me it doesn't, because I always get unlucky and film on the days where Roblox is having errors. This is definitely not just my computer. Anyway, whatever. I'm gonna do as much as I can and just type. I'm just gonna click every biome. No, I am not, actually. You're gonna move on to the next area, and it's gonna be all hills and plains. It's gonna be really simple. I'm going to cancel that and make sure I have it positioned in the right place. But hey, if you want a platformer game, that is how you do it. Whoa, that grass looked weirdly blue. Anyway, there, thin line, side angle, bam, platformer with terrain. Anyway, so I'm actually going to, now obviously mine is overlapping, so I can't change the coordinates. So I'll cheat using these newer things, which I guess aren't cheats, they're just new and cooler than what I had. Oh, that's a scale. Oops. Okay, I think that works. I'm gonna generate that. I'm actually gonna cancel that. I'm gonna clear all terrain. I'm gonna try that again now that there's not all that. And after a bunch of overcomplication, there it is. Also, I had caves on. I couldn't really change it because my menu is all messed up right now. But here we go. A cube. It's really small. It may look big, but this is going to be easy exploration. You want to make the next Zelda Breath of the Wild? Next Immortals Phoenix? The next open world game. You're going to have to build something a bit bigger than this. But this works. Next, I am going to change the subject from terrain for a little bit and just scale up myself a bridge. Make it wide, bit thicker. No, not a bit thicker. Make it light brown. Make it out of wood planks. And I'm actually not going to anchor it. This is one of the few times where I'm not going to anchor something. I mean, you almost always anchor this kind of thing. Because, personally, I don't want to spend all the time rotating it perfectly. I just want it to kind of auto-rotate and just kind of get in the right rotation. So there. And obviously when I click play here, it'll just fall into place, hopefully. Anyway, so you've got your terrain now. During this loading screen, I'm going to talk about what we're going to do next. Next, I'm going to teach you how to paint stuff. And we're going to, well, first we're going to flatten a part. Then we're just going to paint it. And I'm going to show you how certain things do different things, like water. I believe that a long time ago in Roblox, magma used to be able to hurt you, but those were older times. Oh yeah, I need to make this a bit thinner. Anyway, here's your big bridge. You walk across it, takes forever. You get to the other island. It's slanted, so these little blue balls from a previous video. How to make random generated spawning. Very useful. I mean, any game where there's random enemies, power-ups, all that, very useful for that. Alright, we also have a speed tool video. So there we're across. Bam, there's our terrain. Caves was on because my thing was all meshed together and I couldn't really turn them off. But caves is on, so there will be caves. And you can just jump around. This is all hills biome, I noticed. Trust me, I would recognize some plains. Plains is actually only made out of this dirt material. And only this small stretch over here is actually plains. Anyway, so let's get building some terrain. Go over to that small sliver or whatever you've got. I'm just going to go over this small bit of plains. I'm going to go into the edit. I'm going to grab my flatten tool. Now you're going to notice something that you did not have in any of the past things. These squares or circles. Set it to a square. This is basically the radius in which it happens. Watch. You want some kind of meteor thingies? Cracked lava. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, a lot of those just look messy. But there we go. So you see, so that's kind of what that's for. So we're gonna flatten, and this square is gonna be our flattener. These two are locked together. You can unlock to move them individually. We don't want to do that. Set it to a pretty good size, not too big. Note that it's actually not gonna flatten everything in the square. It's basically gonna flatten everything from the middle. So basically, whatever height it starts at, like the middle of it, that's what everything's gonna flatten. And you can change See these three settings down here? You can make it so it just cuts off things, so it just fills in things, or so that it has what we have currently, it does both. So it'll make things rise up and it'll make things flatten down. In fact, we can even make things rise outward and expand out using this tool. Okay, so we're already seeing, if you're looking closely, one part having a special feature. These rocks have their own shape. Yes, this is the same flat surface, it's just a bit rockier because of that material. Grab your paint tool, find a material you like, and paint away. And if you use the water material, you can actually swim in this. All those games with this kind of water, oh, yeah, you'll notice it made a bit of a bigger tunnel. That's because it basically painted all of that material and everything kind of under it. So when I painted that part, it just went to town making tunnels underneath, and now we've got blotches on the side, but yeah. Some things have special walkover sound effects. Oh yeah, and also you'll notice I can't paint back over the water. That's because it has ignore water on, so it's only painting the bottom. Turn off that, and bam, you can paint right over the water and add yourself a little island. Why don't we do that? We'll get some more water in there. And then we'll just make a sandy little island. And then we can use the grow tool, which will basically make it grow out. You'll notice it's actually growing in the grass. That's because no matter what it grows out of, it'll grow in whatever material you have it set to, and everything has its own like set. So it was auto set to grass, but now bam, now it's growing out sand, and our little island is actually hooked to the bottom. We can erode, bam, instant tunnel cave system. Go make it go straight down, pit of doom. I mean, what kind of good video game doesn't have a pit of doom? Oh, that's gonna go through the bottom of the world. Yeah, that's just gonna keep going. Wow, that is really deep. That is getting to be really deep. In fact, I'm not gonna go all the way. I'm just gonna make it a prison for anyone noob enough to fall down there. No offense to anyone who plays this game and actually does fall down there. I'm not saying you're a bad gamer. I'm just saying you are a rushing ahead gamer. You can smooth things out. Obviously, we've got this big crack. We don't want that. Let's smooth it out. Smooth tool can actually basically be a kind of edge delete tool. Like basically you can just use it to delete stuff. You can use the actual subtract tool to just chop out shapes. Bam, 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 bam. And you can use the add tool to, wow, add stuff. Also, it was on cracked lava because of those things I was making earlier. So, you're ready to make an RPG game with actual terrain? I know I am, because I've done it. In fact, there's one last tool that I want to show you, and that's the sea level tool. This is another one of those kind of cheaty-ish newer tools that wasn't around when I started Roblox, so I feel it feels unfair to me. So basically, obviously, I'm gonna have to make it cut off that edge. Now, if you haven't seen the past videos, you won't know why, but the reason for that is because this room is actually a death trap. Watch the How to Make Traps and Pranks video. Anyway, so then you can click Create or Evaporate. Bam! You've just got an ocean there. Let's expand it. Create. I used to make my oceans by hand, and this tool, I will tell you, is majorly useful. No longer will you have to spend hours creating sea and water. Now, your ship simulators will work a lot better. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This was how to make terrain. Goodbye, my name is Tech Weasel. I'm a 12-year-old kid and I code Roblox games. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. See ya!